Hi everybody, Adam here. Today we're taking a look at an awesome new Lego book called In Focus, Explore the Miniature World of Lego Photography. This impressive book collects the photographs of over 30 photographers from around the world who have captured Lego minifigures and Lego builds from a minifigure's perspective in situations around nature and the man-made world. I find this particular type of photography quite inspiring and interesting to look at. It's quite impressive to see all the different sort of everyday situations that we might take for granted that these photographers have been able to capture in a very different light, with the Lego minifigures and some different builds as well that they've incorporated into their photographs. You can see on the front cover here an interesting picture with the Lego Spaceman minifigure. Really nicely done. And when you're taking pictures at this sort of scale, you really capture some different interesting details. You can see some of the smoke or mist moving by in the background there. You get to see some of the real close-up details on the plants and other objects that are in the photograph. Quite neat to see. Now, as you would expect, the photographs throughout the book are really high quality. The book itself mostly focuses on the photographs. With each photograph, there is a little blurb that talks about what the photographer was trying to capture or sort of how they went about setting up the particular shot that is shown in that photograph. But really, by and large, this is a book of pictures and there's not a ton of words, which I think is nice. It's definitely different from some of the other Lego books that we have looked at previously. And I'm quite happy with it from that perspective. Definitely gives me some ideas and thoughts about how we might take some of our minifigures out and get some interesting pictures with them. So now let's take a look inside the book just to give you a feel for how the interior is laid out. Now, as we start to flip into the book here, you can see the very first image in the entire book before we've even gotten to the meat of the photography on display here is really impressive and drives home a couple of the points that I was talking about. You can see here first off, the quality of the photography and the images that are in the book. Really impressive full page photograph here. And in some cases, the photographs span onto a second page. And then the other thing that I really appreciate about this is the fact that, on a day-to-day basis, we don't really appreciate how water droplets like this look in the real world. And it's really impressive to see and how the photographer here has managed to capture both these droplets in a really crisp, clear way, but then also by staging the minifigure in the scene here, taking a picture of them, gives you a sense of scale, and it's just a really interesting perspective on something that is just an everyday part of the world, but that we don't really look at on a regular basis, like I mentioned. So really excellent picture here. Big fan of this one, and a great sort of teaser for all of the great photography that is ahead in the book. Now, one thing that is also worth mentioning, they highlight two communities here, Brick Central and Stuck in Plastic. These are two photography communities on the internet that I believe all of the photographers in the book are a member of, so a member of one or the other. Really interesting to learn about those two communities, and definitely will be looking into them more because as I mentioned, this book is it's really just the tip of the iceberg. It's a nice collection of some pretty amazing photography work and some images, but it's really inspiring, I think, for me. And in addition to doing some of my own photography, I am interested to see more of what these communities are working on and doing. Now, the first image in the book is the image that you saw on the back cover. The back cover has a subset of this great image here. And as you can see, as I mentioned, each photograph comes with a little blurb. It talks about the name of the image, the photographer, where they're from, and a little bit about what led up to the moment where they took this photograph. And some of them are like this one, kind of a paragraph. Some of them are maybe just a sentence or two, but it's really interesting to see that window into the photographer's mindset when they created the amazing image that you're looking at. And I'm a big fan of this particular image. I think it's an awesome little scene here with the space minifigure family. And, just the contrast as well, the color contrast in this particular situation, but also the contrast of seeing the plastic minifigures here compared to objects in the real world, whether it be these amazing clouds in nature or I believe this is cement underneath them here. It's just a really neat contrast to see. So an amazing image, and gives you a bit of a feel for how the other images in the book are laid out. And here we've got another awesome looking image. This one's called Yellow Frame by Robert from Cape Town in South Africa. And what I thought was interesting in particular about this one, I mean, it's a great scene that you're looking at, but I also like the fact that he has taken a real world object because they have these yellow frames at particularly picturesque tourist spots in Cape Town for people to take pictures with. And he's created a micro scale version of it. And he's got the minifigures using the micro scale version in front of the actual object that it's based off of in the real world, which, it's just a unique and interesting perspective. I mean, I'm learning about things here that are in Cape Town, but, it's also just learning about different ways to set up really interesting scenes. And I think Robert did an amazing job with this particular image. Now, beyond the images at the back here, there's also a list of all the photographers that are featured in the book. So you can see all the ones that are a member of the Stuck in Plastic community, all the ones that are a member of the Brick Central community. So really great to see that. And they also give you information on how to find each of these individual photographers, so you can see more of their work online, which I think is really great. So overall, quite happy with this book. As I mentioned, it's a bit of a different book from some of the other Lego books that we see in the see coming out on a regular basis, but I think that is interesting, and it's just as inspiring as those other types of Lego books that we see. And I'm definitely going to be looking at doing some photography like this. And, you know, if you're interested in photography, if you're interested just in Lego minifigures and bricks, there's a lot here for everybody. So definitely a good book to look at getting. I picked this one up off of Amazon. I'm sure you're going to find it in bookstores as well, but definitely worth looking into. I'll include a link below for Amazon if you're interested in looking at it there. But otherwise, like I mentioned, you should be able to search and find it in bookstores that are near you as well. So that concludes our look at this awesome new Lego book, In Focus, Explore the Miniature World of Lego Photography. If you have not subscribed to the channel, please make sure to do so that you don't miss out on any of our upcoming videos. And thank you very much for watching. We will see you again soon. Take care. Bye.